You know, that's kind of like the 21 Savage situation. Wack100 tried to say he was a snitch because of something that he was involved in, where he gave a statement. We don't know what was said in that statement. He could have lied in that statement. But if 21 came out and said, I lied, then they could have used that in his visa, court process to deny him. Oh, we got him admitting that he lied in a statement to the police. You know, so 21, he has the citizenship now, I think, is what the news just came out with. So congrats to him.
Yeah.
But Wack put him in a fucked up predicament because he can't even defend himself. Because he has to look one way to the courtroom and look another way to the streets. So he just stayed quiet on the entire situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird sometimes when people kind of start to question you and start to sort of, push you and so forth. 'Cause I remember he was on Clubhouse arguing. It might have been with Wack or someone else, but he was like, it wasn't with Wack. It was a bunch of Chicago guys or something. And he was like, motherfucker, 10 motherfuckers get shot. None of us get shot. And it's like, like you're getting fired up because people are trying to test your manhood or your gangster or whatever. And you start blurting out this crazy shit. And I'm listening to this going like, what the fuck are you doing right now? Like, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a multi-platinum rapper.
He might have had an off moment. He might have been a little saucy or something. It is what it is, but he's good now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. The 121 Savage interview that I did, it wasn't even planned because I was interviewing No Plug.
Yeah.
You know about this whole thing?
Yeah.
No Plug was accused of killing Bankroll Fresh.
Mm-hmm.
But how he explained in the interview, and, we checked with the police department and so forth, it was that he fired in self-defense.
Yeah,
he was shot at first, and he returned fire, and, Bankroll Fresh got killed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember this was like, it was kind of a watershed moment in hip-hop because no one's ever done this before.
Right.
No one's ever done a YouTube interview talking about killing a known rapper. But from my point of view, it was like, okay, this was self-defense.
Yeah.
I'm big on this. As like I said, I had the home invasion situation. Like I'm big on defending your life if someone tries to kill you.
Definitely.
Right. And, the whole thing, this dude's a murderer. He killed Bankroll Fresh. And Bankroll Fresh wasn't the world's biggest rapper, but he was a known rapper in Atlanta, and he was buzzed. I think 2 Chainz had signed him, and that was his artist and everything else like that. And when I did the interview, it was like everyone's jaw dropped. I remember me and Charlamagne had a falling out over that interview because, he just felt like, that this was, I forget what Charlamagne's rationale was, but it was around that interview, me and him had a falling out, and we didn't talk for a while, like some years. And then TMZ released the footage in front of the studio, which showed Bankroll Fresh with like an AK-47 waving it around right before the shooting. And I'm like, you see what I mean? I was right the whole time. I know it's fucked up because people will take the side of the more popular person.
Yeah.
No one knows who No Plug was. He was 21 Savage's friend. 21 Savage was right there when the interview was happening. And I remember I interviewed 21 Savage right afterwards. We even talked about that situation. And he was like, yeah, they're trying to frame my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like he was somehow the aggressor or whatever else, but it was self-defense. But it was like the TMZ video came out. And I remember me and Charlamagne, when we finally talked again, I'm like, you see what I mean? I was right the whole time. And he was like, you're right, my bad. I was just caught up in what everyone else was saying and whatever else. But it's like, it's a fucked up situation, man. It gets dicey. But at the end of the day, I felt like this person should be given a platform in order to clear his name. But then a lot
of people ain't gonna look at that. People are gonna be like, "Oh, you're trying to glorify for his death and get some views," but in all actuality, you might be helping No Plug because you letting him voice like,
exactly,
yo, this was self-defense.
It was self-defense because then Bankroll Fresh's people said, "No, we want to do an interview." And at that point, I said, "Okay, I'm backing up out of this."
I think the biggest factor is like how somebody goes about it. Because people brag. Like,
Well,
buddy
yeah.
that stood in the blood,
Yeah.
that kid.
You know, the problem with No Plug also was that he had this pile of money on the couch
Yeah.
as he's telling the story. And it's like, I don't know why he did that. Because, you know, that famous, like, 21 Savage interview with him with a pile of money, that's the same pile of money.
Yeah.
Because it was the same interview. But it's like, why do you have a pile of money talking about someone getting killed? Like, it's a little weird, but I'm not going to tell him to take the pile away because it was at his apartment, I believe. And it was just like, yeah, man, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you want to tell it, but then sometimes people get carried away. And yeah, I mean, the BTB Savage situation was sad. But his girlfriend's doing interviews now.
Is she?
Yeah. And she's telling the same story about what happened. You know? I mean, it really happened. It was really someone came in and tried to kill him.
Yeah.